Not necessarily the views expressed by the ZNS Radio Network and by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. What's the secret of change? We don't fight the old. Instead, we focus on building the new. Welcome to the Table of Change. Come on in and have a seat at our table.
We are at the table. We are at the table of change tonight. Bahamas, guess what? We have a full course meal. This table is spread. It's spread tonight. We have bright minds tonight. Pull up your chairs to the dining room table. Let's eat what we have from our own Bahamians tonight. Tomorrow, what are you saying, girl?
Oh, Jackie, I don't know what's in your cup, but I am loving it. I want some of what is in your cup, and I want to pull up to your table with that energy tonight. But Table of Change listeners, Jackie and I were discussing, what do we need to, where should we take the show? What topic should we bring up next? And we both came to the conclusion that, oh my goodness, it's like we're talking about a car and we haven't started talking about the engine. We're talking about customer service. We're talking about training. We're talking about management, but we missed out the key component. And the key component of that is the HR department, right, Jackie?
That's right. It starts with them.
So we said, what questions would we want to ask? Where would we want to go in terms of the HR department? So we had to sit down and we're like, okay, what does HR mean? And, ladies and gentlemen, we came up with the fact that the HR department is vital to the organization because it acts as the bridge between the workforce and the company, ensuring both the employees' well-being and the organization's success. From recruitment, starting to the onboarding, to the management of the employees, to the relationships and the compliance for the company rules. So we're like, we got to talk about the engine. We got to talk about HR because of the crucial role that it plays. And, informing the culture of the company, employee engagement, and driving business performance. So Jackie and I, we reach out to BSHRM, and we are so excited because they took on the challenge of coming on to Table of Change tonight to talk to us about HR. But let me give these beautiful ladies just a moment to introduce themselves. So these ladies are going to introduce themselves, give us an idea of what companies they worked for, give us a personal motto, and what do they enjoy about HR so we could take a moment just to get to know these ladies. Ladies, go ahead.
Pleasant good evening, Radioland, and I am so happy to be here. I am Melissa DeVoe. I am I would say 2-decade-old HR professional. I'm passionate about people. So that's why I find myself in the HR field. HR is my what, my why, and my when. I like to say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and that's what HR is all about. So I'm happy to be here.
Hi, good evening. I am Justina Stubbs. I've been in the HR field for about 6 years. One thing I love about HR is the constant learning and growing, building relationship and serving others.
Awesome. So hi, good evening, Bahamas. I'm happy to be here. My name is Candice Gomez. I'm currently employed by Lowe's Wholesale. I am the Director of Human Capital and Operations. And I am half of Melissa's age, about a decade plus. So we have the same model, which is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I think that's very important. And as Tamara would have said, we are the catalyst of change. We serve as that bridge. And I am passionate about people. I'm passionate about helping my organization succeed. And so being that person that sits in the middle of making that happen, I enjoy it.
All right, last but not least, I'm Carla Hamilton. Hello to everyone in Bahamaland. I'm the BSHRM Secretary for 2025. I've been in HR almost 15 years, so I'm 5 years behind Melissa. And currently, I am the HR manager at a leading retail insurance provider in the Caribbean. HR has always been a passion of mine. I love connecting with persons. I love seeing people thrive in their field, and I just love to be a part of their story. And my motto is to be kind and gracious to everyone, because you never know what someone may be going through.
I love it.
Yes.
And we represent
We
Be
want to
Sure.
welcome
Right.
all of you to
Awesome.
Table of Change, and thank you for taking on the mantle and coming here tonight. But we're going to jump right into it. What does the Bahamas Society for Human Resources Management do? What does that mean to me?
What do we do? So, BSHRM, which is the Bahamas Society for Human Resource Management, is the national nonprofit organization which we are dedicated to advancing the human resources profession in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. So we are an affiliate of the Global Society of Human Resource Management, which is SHRM, and it's based in the US of A. And we serve as the central hub for all HR professionals. So we are calling on all HR professionals in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to come out, join us, and help us succeed as we build human capital in the Bahamas.
So here at
So,
BSHRM,
and-
our mission is to increase recognition for HR professionals in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas by acting as strategic partners and HR professionals, and along with conducting research and engaging in employment trends and providing learning opportunities focused on enhancing knowledge and skills within the community.
That's what we do in a nutshell. That's what BSHRM is in a nutshell. Isn't that exciting?
Yes, it is. So what I would like to know, when I heard each of you said what excites you, and everyone, if these people are in your human resource department, I don't see where any staff will have any problems.
No.
But listen, Melissa, what inspired you? Did you knew that you wanted to work in human resource, or what led you in that direction?
I think I've always known that, growing up in a big family, 13 children. So there was always some dialogue. There's always some learning. There's always exchange. There's always chatter. There's always figuring out what happens, where this goes, where that goes. So therein, I was able to develop my people skills. I was able to develop my analytical thinking, and just to figure out how things happen. So that was the most natural fit. So I find when I go into any organization or I think about things, I'm like, why does this happen? How can we make it better? So definitely it was a natural fit for me coming from a huge family.
Well, just listen to this, Tamara. Last week, I think we spoke about children being trained from the home. Melissa,
Yes.
so say our parents did it. Where did we go wrong? Because that's the challenge now. The kids being trained from home. You send them for the broom, they're looking in one corner, they're not looking around. So Melissa was trained for her whole career in the home. So we have to pick it up tomorrow. I know you got something to add to that.
Absolutely.
No, ladies, the inside joke is the fact of Jackie and I strongly believe in terms of customer service and improving service in the Bahamas, and we just want to put some of the onus in terms of the parents, in terms of giving you ladies someone to train, giving you ladies a viable employee, and we feel like some of it starts in the home. Ladies, help me out. Would you agree with that, or?
Absolutely, it starts in the home, because when we talk about, as Candace would have mentioned, being kind, humility, being able to look at someone and figure out what's happening with you today. How can I help? So that's what HR is really all about. This, when we talk about HR, it's the human element. HR, human, are relationships. So put that together and just figuring out how can I help you? What is wrong? What do you need next? What do you need to make this happen? And that's what it's all about. And some of those skills definitely you could never learn in a textbook. You could never learn in school. It starts at home. That's my opinion.
And I'd like to add that the parents are responsible for the training from getting up on time, being to school on time,
Yes.
being to church on time, the way that we dress when we go out, the way we dress when we go to church. These are all small things that we as HR professionals can see when it didn't happen at home.
Absolutely.
And it makes our job harder, but we have a commitment to do it. But we do it very well.
If anyone have their mics open, it would be really nice if you can close it because it's feeding back. So thank you so much. And I like when you said it makes your job harder. But isn't it so much more meaningful? Because we know in the real world, all the parents are not going to do it.
Correct.
I mean, tomorrow we're back and forth with this. If the parents don't do it, at least there's a chance at the primary school. Because we know the kids, some of the teachers are like mom. So they still have a chance.
Absolutely.
And if it's not done at primary school, we can't give up.
No.
We cannot give up. We
Yes.
will not give up
Yeah.
because they
No.
have a chance at the high school. They even have a chance right in the community.
Correct.
Because we adopt some of the kids. So we are not going to give up these kids. And then guess what? They have a chance on the job.
Yes.
Someone come on the job with their pants dragging, it's not clean. What we need to do, like I always tell Tamara, we need to stop putting it in a group meeting and
say,
said,
Absolutely.
tardiness, you need to be clean. Sometimes we could call the person out
Absolutely.
in kindness,
Yes.
in love.
Yes.
Because, hon, I'm looking out for you.
Yes.
You maybe you can even offer. Most places have uniforms, so maybe you can offer. If they don't have uniforms, I'm gonna help you with it because life is just so meaningful when we are part of it. And what happens after you have this person? When you look 2-3 years down the line, and that person is. We can do
Yes,
it.
Jackie,
That's
you're
why
right.
when managers say to me, they have the MPs just bringing them and putting them on the job. No, if they don't want to work, you call the MP because I'm sure the MP ain't say y'all could go there and do nothing.
Yes.
I'm going,
They didn't.
Tomorrow, keep me in line. Keep me in line.
That's a
tomorrow.
different story.
No,
But
but
just to add
Jackie,
to
we haven't
that,
even reminded the callers about the numbers tonight, and I'm already getting texts. You know, there's a meeting after the meeting or a meeting that's going on during the meeting. So I am getting texts, ladies, like crazy. Let me remind of the numbers, 325-5403 or 300-8255. But ladies, I need you to put your thinking cap on and buckle up because they're coming at me fast with the questions.
I think we're ready.
The first question for you tonight is, what is the balance between HR role to the company and the responsibility to the employee? I hope I kind of phrased that correctly.
Yes.
So I think I'll take that question. So one thing, every employee and every manager should know that HR is here to support. We're not here to make a decision on the employee side or the manager side, but be a support for both people and the business. You know, we're not just about writing policies, going to the department going to the department just to solve problems. HR is not just a problem solver. We are strategic, we are a coach, and we are a catalyst of positive change. For some employees, that means, you know, HR can be a safe place where you could voice your concerns, ask questions, seek guidance. From the manager's view, you know, HR could be a resourceful help to build teams, to navigate through tough conversations, because some managers find it very difficult to deal with employees. But in my point of view, some managers send the employee directly to HR. So HR is going to challenge that manager. No, how would you handle that
Correct.
situation?
Correct.
Let's train you. Let's figure out how you can best approach it. So you know we're all in this together. There's no people versus company. We're all one, and HR supports both sides of it.
Correct. Just
Yes.
to add to Justina, when we look at what we do, we sit in the middle. So it's a balancing act. We're there for both the employees and the employer. At the end of the day, our job is really to build the workplace where both the business and the people can win. So it's really all about win-winning. It's not a win-lose situation. We, as she would have said, we serve as coaches, we serve as referees, we serve as lawyers, doctors, so much more. So we just want people to know that HR, we're here to help everyone.
Yes.
Yes, and to add as well that if you are a manager and I'm an employee, we're both at the same company. We both are trying to accomplish the company's goal, so we all have to be in alignment to making sure that we achieve that.
Absolutely.
But you know what I would want to add that this sounds like a perfect HR group.
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah, no, but I'm
Thank you. I am accepting that, Melissa. Thank you.
Yes, because I'm saying, because it seems like you have a heart and it seems like you want to do all good.
Yes. Mhm.
But in the real world out there, everybody is not like that.
That is correct.
And so you have some staff members who afraid of going to the human resource. And that is why we would like, we're seeking for Table of Change to partner with these places. And now that you've been on the show, you can probably take word back. We want to partner with them because you have some people who have experience, they're afraid to share it. We would like for them to share their experience, not to put anyone in trouble, but just to help even the person that work in these offices, to help them, because sometimes people don't know when they're doing things to hurt people. Sometimes they do.
Yes.
And then even for the staff, listen, Bahamas, you as staff, in this world today, it's never going to be all perfect or happiness for you every day of the week. Yes. And that is why, Tamara, I listened to a speech last night. And it did my heart well. And I'm not going to say I'm quoting, but this is what I got from him. The Prime Minister is now asking, he actually said, even between politicians, we have to work together.
Yes.
I think they're realizing now that we're really not for this anymore. And they also realize that we have to put God to the top.
Amen.
And I'm going to leave it right there because we have to go for a break until we come back on Table of Change.
Exactly, you mentioned the heart, and it's amazing that you mentioned that because one of the comments from our Zoom listener is HR is hard work. So we're going to take a break now. Remember, the numbers are 325-5403, 300-8255. And ladies, when we come from the break, we're going to dive into that a little more. HR is hard work. We'll be back in a few.
Awesome.
Get ready for this year's annual Pineapple Festival. In celebration of all things pineapple, expect an exciting event full of games and eating contests, a fun-filled kiddies corner, live demos, as well as an electrifying lineup of live performances by the artists that you know and love. The festival will be held at Gregorytown, Eleuthera on Friday, June 6th, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. and Saturday, June 7th, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. Don't miss out. Come on down to Gregorytown for the biggest pineapple-themed event of the summer.
It's time once again for Behind the Artist. And this week, we're going to hear from the man that brought you songs like My Bahamas, Break Up the Party, and even his newest release, Watch Over Me. You guessed it, baby. Tune in Friday 9 to 9:30 a.m. with the one and only Hope Shelly Ann to Behind the Artist, featuring Shine 242. We're 1540 a.m., 104.5 FM, the national voice of the Bahamas. Oh, do tune in.
They reject me, but still I come back for more persistent. This is what I do. To myself, I say it true. I don't worry about you, how that bird don't make a soup.
ZNS has got you covered this summer for all your advertising needs at great rates. Get ads on ZNS TV, the ZNS Radio Network, and the TV community page. Book before June 7th and get the local Federation Championship Baseball bonus. Contact your account executive or call ZNS Sales at 502-3800 for more details. Special summer package rates valid until July 31st.
Hi, I am Assistant Superintendent of Police Nathalie Ranger, officer in charge of the Carmichael Urban Renewal. Today, I stand at the helm of a collaborative effort with our dedicated community stakeholders, reaching out to other community leaders in a united mission to target social ills such as unemployment, crime, youth delinquency, domestic violence, substance abuse, mental health struggles, and financial hardship. It is imperative that every individual takes an active role in uplifting our communities through meaningful engagements, whether by mentoring our youth, promoting educational opportunities, fostering wellness programs, or championing neighborhood beautification projects. Community empowerment is not just the responsibility of a few. It is a shared duty and goal that strengthens the very fabric of our society. Together, through collective action and compassion, we can build safer, healthier, and more resilient communities for all.
This message was brought to you by Carmichael Urban Renewal in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Quality in a service is not what you put into it. It is what customers get out of it. And Table of Change gives us customer service at its finest. Tune in to Tamara Fox-Smith and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie for Table of Change. Table of Change, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on the National Voice of the Bahamas.
Table of Change is here. Table of Change.
With myself, Tamara Fox-Smith, and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie, we're going to bring the issue to the table.
The views expressed on this show, interview, or program are not necessarily the views expressed by the ZNS Radio Network and, by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Welcome back to Table of Change. Just a reminder, we have Melissa DeVoe, Carla Hamilton, Justina Stubbs, and Candice Gomez. They're from BSHRM.
Be sure.
Yes. And the topic tonight is, who does HR serve? I just love that topic. I just want all the answers. And we're going straight back to our Zoom quote. They said, HR is heart, HEART, work, and that it is. Who's gonna comment on that?
So I like to comment on that. I definitely 100% agree. It is definitely hard work, and I think that the more hard work, yes. But I think the heart comes to play in that when you truly have a passion for people, want to see people grow, develop, be engaged on their jobs. That's where the heart comes in. You take it, make it your mission to say good morning and feel the people, see them, make them feel as though they are invited to sit at your table, how we are today, sitting at the table. They should know they are invited to your table in your office. Yes. They have a voice. You're going to listen. You're going to hear them. I think Tamara talked about the onboarding experience. Onboarding is not recruiting someone and sending them off. Onboarding is a whole process that as an organization, we should take very seriously. Or the orientation and making persons know that the human resources is here. Talking about career development, training. There are so many things, but I think Carla said it best in terms of being kind to people. Mm-hmm. Even when you may be delivering a negative message, something they did wrong, the way you say that, it makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
The way that you empathize with someone, we have things. I recently became a mother 2 years ago, still recent for me. But before that, I was able to empathize with a mother having a sick child, being late for work, calling out sick. You don't have to have a child to empathize with somebody. You know what it is to bring up children. They are your gems. I would leave my job 100% if they tell me I have to choose between work and my child. So why don't we understand that? How can you support this employee than be having a difficult challenge with a child? So I think these are kind of things where the heart comes into play, and some people don't see that. Some HR professionals don't. I'm going to be very honest. But I want to say, come to BSHRM. We can help you.
Absolutely.
We put the heart in HR, and so you can find out how to get the heart in HR if you need to. Come out to BSHRM.
And just to add to that as well, when we talk about human, so how can you be human sometimes without a heart? But there are some separations. But the bottom line is we're really here as a human resource. You don't need a title. You don't have to be a manager to have a heart. You don't have to be a manager to lead people. But the whole thing is in the HR profession is training people, soft skills. Those soft skills that's really transferable. So when you look at what you want the organization to be, we as HR professionals, we have to be the change. We have to be the change we want to see. So we talk about people coming in late or people coming in early. Either way, we have to lead that. We have to champion that. When we talk about success, they always say that success rises or falls on leadership. So when the leaders get it right, sometimes you find that's where the culture starts. But when it's wrong, HR could go right or wrong. But we're here to say that we as Bahamas Society of Human Resource Managers or professionals, we are doing HR right. And we want to ensure that all organizations in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas do HR right. And when you do it right, you could never go wrong.
Just look at this. I can see that Tamara has something to say, but Tamara, there's someone on Zoom. DeAndre Moxie, just before you, Tamara.
Okay.
DeAndre, you can unmute your mic.
My question is, hello, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, please go ahead.
My question is, how as Bahamian people, how do you guys think we should go about communicating with our personal HRs in our various lines of work, and what's the best time to do it if there's?
Well, let me take this on, because in my role, I get a lot of persons who do need time with me, right? So to be deliberate and to give that person my undivided attention, I always encourage them to look at my calendar and book that time in my calendar, and that way I know that at 9:30 p.m. I have a meeting with John Doe. And I sometimes take it out of my office. We go into maybe the boardroom. There is a space at our office on the outside, like a patio space. Go outside, catch some fresh air. But I always want to give people their time and their opportunity to just speak with me and connect with me. And that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. It works for me and it works for the employee too.
And I want to agree with Carla. Working in a place where our demographics, everyone may not be computer savvy or may not have access to a computer. Something for me, we have an open door policy, so I would say they can come, knock on my door, and again, scheduling a time is best, but if I have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on what their needs are, it's as simple as that. Because we at our company, we want to make sure that they know that they can be seen. So if I'm not in a meeting and I'm available, we can do that. If it's something that may be more complicated or challenging, we can schedule something that may need more time. But at the end of the day, you should be in an organization where whatever their policy is to schedule that meeting, you should be able to go and do that. So it could be, depending on the organization, what that may look like.
Tamara, no, you didn't get your piece in.
Actually, there's a question. A question that was texted me, and I'm going to give you some time to think about it, ladies, and then I want to make a comment also. Her question is, let me just paraphrase it. She's new to HR. She doesn't have all the letters behind her name, but what I like, ladies, is we talked about the heart. And as a newly placed person in an HR position, she was asked by her employer to now go to the hospital to fire a young lady. But without having any HR experience, she felt like it was like an ethical issue. And she informed the employer that she would not do it. But I just wanted to say to her, ladies, that like you said, HR is the heart. And, organizations, if you're new in the HR position and you do not have the letters behind your name, the Bahamas Society for Human Resources Management, you want to join an organization like that because you want to be abreast of the information. You want to get familiar with the labor laws. But I liked what she said in terms of she felt it was like an ethical issue, and it brings us back to the heart. So what would you guys say to that young lady that was asked in her capacity as an HR manager to go to the hospital and fire a young lady?
I would say to her, welcome to the world of HR, because you do get some complicated or some uneasy requests. But being new doesn't mean that you're crazy. I would say to her that have the confidence, and if she feels that it is unethical, have those conversations. I don't want HR professionals feel like we cannot talk to the managers or we can't say no. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And if she feels that that was unethical, have that conversation. She might find that there's another way in which you can do it, or she can come up with some suggestions. We're not the HR of some time ago where we just push paper or we're dictated to. We're strategists. We think of ways to make things better. And I think there was probably a better way to handle that. So I would encourage her to have the conversation.
Yeah, I am in agreement with that. I definitely, yes, being new to HR and understanding that it's your employer. But I, again, do think that just don't tell your employer no, but find solutions. Okay, the person is currently in the hospital. First of all, we should be sending flowers. We should be finding out how that person is doing.
Absolutely.
We should be doing all those other things. And that is the utmost first thing that we should be doing.
Empathy.
However,
Showing empathy.
if this person is still going to be terminated when the person is out of the hospital,
Absolutely.
we will then handle it in the way that it should be handled, because that is absolutely not the way that I would do it, being new or not being new. I don't think any employer could get me to do it. Again, I don't know her circumstances to say if she feels completely confident, but I would say she should definitely go with solutions to her employer, saying that, okay, these are things that I suggest, meaning send the flowers, find out, get well, how are you? And then after she comes out of the hospital, she, then, okay, we can now proceed in this manner and present that to her employer.
Yeah, what I think is important too for that new employee as well is to learn the labor laws.
Yes.
Because that's when that comes into play. We know that we cannot terminate someone whether they're on maternity, whether they're sick. So that's a thin line she's walking. So don't make those decisions that at the end of the day might have you walking out of the door. So for those who are new to HR, there are some intricate things that you need to know as an HR professional to cover yourself as well. So I would encourage that person to do some training, come to be SHRM. We can guide them. That's what we're here for.
I think I missed the first part of that. I was busy watching, listening to something on Zoom or, trying to get that right. The person is in the hospital?
In the
Yes.
hospital.
So technically they're not even working.
Right.
So, okay.
No.
Okay, Tamara,
Yes,
I just
that's
wanted
a
to get it.
lawsuit
Yeah.
coming.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to make it clear because they're not on the job. I could
No.
wait. I could wait till they walk back to do that. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So let's talk about, tell me, what do you do when you have different branches? Like just say Kentucky, and I'm not really, I just out of my top of
Yes.
my head. And they have different branches where different staff work. But you have a staff that's having complication. Maybe when she was hired, she did have a car to get to work. With children, they're having complication with getting to work at that branch because it's nighttime, stuff like that. If they come to you, how does human resource, do we consider a manager as a part of human resource? Do you try to accommodate the staff? Because I just feel the better staff, the better you get from them. Would human resource help with stuff like that?
But I'll take that just simply because that's a typical day because we have different locations. Again, like I said, Melissa noted, training your managers. The managers in your organizations have a responsibility for employee relations. So HR professionals, you must give them the right training. People leave companies not because of employers, simply because of their direct managers. So that's the first thing I want to point out. The second thing is that as HR, we want to assess the situation. We want to find out, okay, you may be having an issue this week, your car went down. So you give them a grace period, right? Obviously, the company still has the operations must continue. Let's just be very honest, right? So you want to empathize with the person, give them a grace period to figure it out. And at that point, the person, they need to figure it out, And so I would say we encourage our managers to listen to what persons say. We tell them, give them grace periods, and then as much as we can, we would assist. So a person who may have a car issue, maybe better scheduling until they get the car up and running.
Right.
So those are kind of things that we do. So now they can still be able to get to work because there's a bus system, public transit bus system. We know that ends at 6, 7 p.m. So maybe scheduling the person for a better time until they're in a better shape. Obviously, you're going to have where many of the persons are on transportation, so it can be something continuous.
Correct.
But I think those are some things that options you look at to make sure that we are trying to assist our employees the best way that we can and maintain the business operations that is of also utmost importance as well.
And it goes right back to managers. Managers have the responsibility to lead their people. So it's not always everything go to HR because, again, it goes to scheduling. The person has some issues do some scheduling, proper scheduling and all of that. So find out what's happening. We also have organizations that have employee assistance program. So you can direct them to that entity that can offer further assistance. So it's never a case where no HR is not available, but definitely managers are HR professionals as well. As a matter of fact, everyone in the organization, as long as you're a human being, you're an HR professional. And we want people to know that. We want people to be empowered. But once again, we know that there's leaders, but managers have to be able to stand up and lead.
Yes. Wow, Tamara, I know you want to add something that I can see in your eyes.
I'm being a little, I'm being a little wicked, ladies, but help me. I remember back in the day working in the jewelry industry, and you may have an organization that does not respect the magnitude of an HR manager and what that HR manager is supposed to represent. So what would happen, ladies, is you're sent in the jewelry business, you're sent to the HR manager to talk to you about punctuality or to talk to you about professionalism and dress code, and that individual doesn't depict any of those things. So just help that HR person remind them of how important their role is and what they represent to the company and why they have to depict what they're trying to correct.
Right. It goes right back to something I said earlier about HR professionals or managers being the catalyst for change. We have to model the behavior that we want to see in our employees. So whether it's from onboarding, when you talk about the training, the dress code, all of these things are definitely a part of the process, the employment process. So for the manager not to look or act the part, it would be difficult for the manager now to tell the employee how to dress, what to do, how not to do when the manager themselves, they're not displaying that. So once again, we have the clarion call to all managers. Let's step up to the plate. Let's be the leaders. Let's be the change that we want to see. There are times when we do go in organizations and some things are not, they're going left when they should be going right. But once again, for all leaders, managers, we know that there is a code of conduct. There is a way that we should carry ourselves. So let's pull on that. And once again, in B-Sherm, it's about networking as well. We find that in B-Sherm, we don't have all the answers as managers. So I would reach out to Carla at where she work at a location. I would reach out to Candace or even to Justina in order to learn more, to know more. So don't feel for a second, HR professionals, that you're out there by yourself. If you want an answer to a question, we have a robust B-Sherm community. You go in the chat and someone asks a question, what are the labor laws? How much days do we need for vacation? We are connected that way. So we say to people, tap into us. It's a wealth of knowledge, it's experience. We can provide everything that you need other than pay your salary.
Wow. Y'all didn't guess that one.
I love it.
So I have another question. What are some of the common misconception people have about HR professional?
Oh, let me tell you, Jackie. Let me tell you. People believe that we only pay. People believe we push paper. We fire. We won't reprimand. Anything bad, typically, for some reason, they associate with the HR departments or the HR personnel. Remember that word personnel they used to use? They think that we're spying on them. They will be walking in the hallway. We try and see what they're doing. So they don't speak to us. Yeah, so these are all crazy things that I do think in the past were done. It didn't come out of nowhere, Jackie and Tamara. It didn't just pop up. It happened.
Yes.
It happened. Let me be real. It happened. But let me tell you, this new age, we are transformed. We are doing things, making things happen, and we are true HR professionals. We ain't just human resources. We are professionals.
Absolutely.
And
tell the truth. You're transforming the culture of HR.
Yes, I'm telling you.
And
Tomorrow they're helping Table of Change.
Absolutely. And another misconception that exists really is people always say, you're not here for us.
Yes.
You ain't here for us. You're not working for us. You're here for the company. You know?
Yes, Melissa.
So we really want to change that misconception, because we are also here to advocate for employees' well-being and their career development. It's not just the company. we're here for both. So I want people to know that we're really, really here so that the left, which you call, or they would say is them or us or them. No, it's us. It's all of us.
But Melissa, and I'm with you. We really want to change it. But to change it, we have to show it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really an action word. Because I think people don't just wake up today and feel like that's what human resources.
No.
Just like you said. It probably happened before and it's probably still happening now.
Yes.
And so we have to change this. We probably have to clone some people. But we have to change it. And tell me about the organization. What is supposed to happen? What makes you set aside? You have people from where coming to make this organization?
Oh, from Bahamas Society of Human Resource Managers, we have a diverse group. We have persons from any and every organization. So we have from the legal field, we have from the medical field, we have from accounting field. So it's not just someone with a title. I won't say that. I'm a manager, so I need to come and be a part. As long as you're an HR professional. And then we have the associate level, we have the student level, and we have the professional level. So we have what we call a dual membership. We have being a part of the local body and our international body, Society of Human Resource Managers. That's our international arm. And once again, it's really talking about developing people, skills, training, networking, advocating for change, culture. So there is so much that we have to offer. But once again, when we talk about the government and us assisting, helping with the papers, in terms of when they put out policies, we as HR, we sit at the table with them. We would have participated, I think, on last week with the labor workshop. Yes. So we're there, and what we do before they have the job fair, you had us there as the leaders who was doing the training on interview skills, on tips for how to get notice, soft skills. So we provide all this training. So it's not we don't just talk about human resource professionals. We definitely model the behavior that we want in all organizations. We talk about culture shift and changes. We do know that the misconceptions, they're out there, but our organization wants to change that. And we can only do it with one individual at a time. So these ladies here are represented from different organizations, and they're the catalyst for change. So imagine when we all come together, 250 strong, and each person want to change. We take that back into the workplace, and I think that change definitely can happen.
One by one.
One by one.
One by one.
I was just really thinking, because do you really have persons to this group from like all the government ministries and everybody come?
I won't say that we have all the government ministries, but we do have some ministries that are a part of the organization, and we continue to advocate. We continue to go out there. I'm the VP for membership. So, my role is always when I see someone, they said they're in the HR field, I'm like, you need to be a part of this organization. And so it's a word of mouth that's getting out there. This morning, we've been on a journey, because we did Royal Fidelity workshop this morning. RF had the workshop in collaboration with BSHRM, and we were out from 8 a.m. until around 2 this morning, just getting nuggets and being poured into. Exactly. And when you talk about development, and we had really, really a good crowd of professionals from all types of organizations, even from Freeport, Andros, they were all here, and we could not have paid for the session. It was free. Yeah. So it's send your HR professional to organizations or to sessions like this, so that they can be trained, they can take that information back, and that's how the culture shift happens.
So to me, it seems like this is a mind-shifting organization.
Absolutely.
And so, Bahamas, governmental officials, we really need, because the human resource, they're there to help people.
Absolutely.
And they can make people's lives on these jobs so much better. So we really need to join this group.
Yes.
I think that's just what I want to say.
Yes.
Tamara, go ahead with your next question.
Yes.
Now, the next question that was typed in, what the question is, ladies, if you're looking at a resume, and one resume, the individual worked at an organization for 15 years. The other resume, the individual moved every 5 years to a new organization with a promotion. Is that person looked at as unstable because every 5 years they keep moving? What he wants to know is it held against you if you move every 5 years, but you're moving with a promotion?
I don't think it should be held against you. I would say that because some people they have as their mantra that after 5 years, this is my time that I'm going to be in this organization. I would have given everything I have and I want to move on. So we do have our own personal goals. And if they're moving with promotions, that's a good thing. So it shows me that this person still has the stability now. When you talk about someone 6 months or every year they're moving, that's questionable. But I think 5 years is really good. And when you look at there's no break in service, that's fine. When you look at the person who can be on a job for 15 years, sometimes you find 5 versus 15. How productive is the 15-year person? Right. Is it because they've been on a job long? That doesn't mean that this person is really, really doing all the work or they're that productive. So it ranges from organization to organization, but as HR professionals, these are the things that we are being trained on, that we are zoning on, how to identify these areas. So I can't say to you that, oh, I've been here 15 years, that means that you've been 5, so you're better than, worse than. No, it doesn't go like that. Let's look at, bring the facts. Let's look at your performance management. Let's look at your appraisal. So these are the things that we look at. So definitely 5 years is good.
And just to add to that, when you understand the generation that you're dealing with, the applicant themselves, you know that your baby boomers and your Gen X are more like steady eddies.
Absolutely.
And then the millennials and younger are going to continue to build a resume with multiple positions. And it's a good thing that they are being promoted every step of the way. So I think it all comes down to the individual, what they present. Are they able to execute the job that they're applying for? And we go from there.
Absolutely.
So,
Do we have a part 2 to that question?
Yes, there is a part 2 to that question. He also wanted to know, he's in a management position. He does not have a bachelor's degree, but he wants to now invest in some type of self-development for his management skills. Is there any organizations or certificate programs you guys can recommend for him?
Absolutely. There's a lot out there. There's a lot online. There are things that you can do, whether it's PTVI at Synergy, University of the Bahamas, BIFs. I don't know what organization or the field he's in, but if he's in the accounting field, you have the BIFs, or even if you're in the HR field, we would say University of the Bahamas. Also, us as BSHRM, we offer the certification classes. That is the CP, that's a certified professional, or the SCP, senior certified. And we have other organizations that offer the HRCI or the SPHRI. I know I'm using all of these acronyms, but it's just senior professional human resource. So based on the field the individual is in, there's always areas where they can develop. So I would say to them, give us a call and we can help them out. And we do have in our organizations, we do have trainers. We do have persons that can really tailor a package for them that they can provide the training. So we do have a wealth of knowledge and training in our organization.
Yes. With mental health becoming a growing priority, how is human resource meaningfully supporting employee well-being?
So in my capacity at the insurance company that I work for, wellness is a built-in component of the insurance plans. We deliver it through a platform that engages the employee from a nutritional standpoint, a physical standpoint, how many steps you get in a day, how you can track your sleep. You can read little 30-second articles on different things that interest you. You would set it if you need to know how to sleep better, if you need to know how to manage your stress. If you're a person who's just newly diagnosed with diabetes, how do you manage that? What foods do you eat? That sort of thing. We have webinars, which is more convenient for our population. Everybody can jump on a Zoom call or a Teams meeting call and listen to experts talk about different things. We did have someone speak on menopause, and how to deal with that and navigate through that, because 75% of our working population is female, and they're right in that zone between 35 and 50 and 50. So that's some of the things that we do to support not just mental health, but take a holistic approach, because physical health can have an impact on your mental health as well, vice versa. But we do have EAPs in place as well. That's another important thing.
I think for us, starting making sure that our employees know that conversation is healthy. We're trying to train our managers to kind of see it, but if they don't see it, making our employees know that they can have real conversations, and we take it very seriously. There's no discrimination, there's no bias, there's nothing held against them for admitting that I am just not well. I need a break. I may be overworked. I may have burnout, whatever it is, just ensuring that they know that those conversations are healthy and welcomed, and we're going to support you with that. That's from, again, like Carla said, the employee assistance programs. We do have a counselor that we outsource, Dr. Richard Adderley, who is amazing, who comes in and he speaks with our staff. They can have his phone number. He can see them via Zoom, via WhatsApp. He will accommodate them at any point. So just knowing that mental health is real and what you feel is real, and not being back then you couldn't talk about it. You can talk about it, come to HR, talk to your manager, but we do have Dr. Adderley's email, phone number out there that they can just even reach out to him, and then he will let us know. A person contacts them, and in terms of that relationship, but they can reach out to him directly without even coming to HR. So ensuring that they know that those resources are there and they can be utilized.
Right. And just to add to that, for HR professionals supporting mental health, it isn't just a one-time initiative. It's an ongoing commitment to really treating people like whole human beings, not just workers. So we want to know that it's okay to say that I'm not okay. But again, we have to create the space or the environment, the culture where people can come out to say that I'm not well today. And that's what we're working on as HR professionals.
I just think that we still have some persons who, and sometimes it's really the people at the top that human resource managers cannot even, there's some things that human resource cannot even touch, because you have some persons at the top of organizations who are mistreating staff, and it's real. It is. And I can say that because I'm human, so I speak with people too.
Yes.
I've been around for a long time, and so I meet people and I speak with them. And there's some things that cannot be touched. Well, I'm not going to say cannot.
Right.
But the world, but and we probably need a spiritual, like a church on the job, because there's some people that really need to know the spiritual part of what they're dealing with. Because people can get mental breakdown because of how they're treated.
Absolutely.
When someone is going to be told on the job that we are having a promotion exercise and you will not be in it, and you will sit with your peers while they're getting it, and then they want someone to now sign this,
Right.
and this person still have to go to work every day
and perform.
because they have families to feed, they have mortgage to pay, and you better have a praying wife or some praying children.
Yes.
And so maybe we need a church on these. And it's for true. I'm speaking because that can cause a mental breakdown. And so I'm going to take this moment to encourage those persons, because it does not end with those persons taking advantage of. And it will turn around. And what you have to know, Bahamas, is that you go through stuff, and sometimes, most times, it's for you. For you to get yourself connected so that you would be able to deal with the situation. I'm going to break right there because I have a question. Do you believe there's a connection between how employees are treated internally and how customers are treated externally. How do you cultivate that link?
I do think there is a correlation because we call ourselves the internal customers. And if we treat each other poorly, that definitely is going to be translated externally poorly. So it's in our best interest as an organization to treat our internal customers with respect, with dignity, with humility, with empathy, so that they then can see, or that culture is already set. So when we go externally to our external customers, it's just an extension of the natural fit.
Yeah. I think, Jackie, was what you said. You have people going through things on the job that impacts their mental health and impacts the way that they can serve someone. So if you have someone not being treated fairly in the job and they deal with a customer, it may not be right, but they are exerting that energy to that particular customer. Not all the time, but I'm just saying that it can happen. So I do think that there is a link. But I want to go back to something you said that's so important, and you made a call to the Bahamas. I encourage persons to have someone to speak to because there are so many things happening to people on the job that are not right.
Correct.
And they do feel so they have nowhere to go. And they do need a confidant or somebody to help motivate them because they can quit because they have to pay mortgage and pay rent or whatever it is. I know for me, one of the things that when I speak to my staff and I have seminars and sessions, I tell them all the time, I'm imparting information not just for where I work, but for you as an individual. To know that it is my company's duty to want to keep you. I'm going to give you what I have and how to improve and be successful and be prepared for opportunities. And that may be outside of this organization.
Absolutely.
It is my organization's duty to do what they need to do to keep the talent that they have.
Absolutely.
So I said to say, it ain't about my organization, it's about people.
Absolutely.
And I make sure I express that to them, and I tell them outright, and I said it in whether my boss is there or she ain't there, because that's what I'm about, and they know that. So I'm going to impart knowledge to you. You can have it. You could use it at Carla's place of employment, or Melissa's place, or Justina said, we don't want to, if we're not doing what we need to do to keep you there. And that's important.
Tamara, we can all see your lips shaking. Go ahead, Tamara. Go ahead.
So, we're coming down to the end of the show, but working in HR before and, just working with organizations, I just want to give everyone a few minutes to impart some nugget that's coming from your heart. What's coming from my heart tonight, Jackie, is I just want organizations to respect HR.
Absolutely.
Treat it as the vital part of the organization. Invest in that HR manager. It's for the betterment of your company. It's for the betterment of customer service. I just wish that we would just take that whole HR department serious and treat it as the engine of your organization. And I just think it would just alleviate a lot of customer service issues. We would have better employees. We'll have better just business-minded professionals working to produce the customer service that Jackie and I are so dire to get. So ladies, just take a minute. Anything from your heart that you want to say regarding HR as we close up?
I think from my heart, I would just like to say that while we're passionate about it, some people might not see that, but I want to put this out there for managers. Managers, you are HR. So it's important for you to treat people with respect, with dignity, with empathy, and all of that. You don't need to send them to us. They're your people. Handle them with care. And I'm sure if you do that, when you talk about retention, they won't want to leave you. So that's what I would like to say. Managers, please manage.
And to add what Melissa said, this is Table of Change, and I believe that to have change, you have to first change your mindset. You can't expect change with having the same old mindset. So if your mindset isn't changed into the direction to be a positive catalyst, you won't see the results out of it. And with having developing a positive mindset, you also have to set boundaries to know how much you're able to give, and being self-aware that if I need to give 110% and I'm only able to give 100%, as Melissa has mentioned, has Candace and Carl has mentioned as well, I'm going to plug myself into a community where I'm able to get that extra 10% that's needed for me to make sure that I'm fully equipped to be a catalyst of change.
Thank you, Justina. So Candace here, I think for me, I want to go back to the comment about the heart work. I would like to leave that to all of your HR professionals in that it is up to us to put the heart into those organizations. Absolutely. People are depending on us. They're looking up to us. Whether they think that we're scary, they are still depending on us to effect change for them. I go back to what Jackie spoke about in terms of we are persons who weren't able to get the training or that foundation in our community. And so sometimes you have interviews where persons will not come dressed the correct way. I know for me, I always would, if I thought they weren't dressed correctly, pull them aside, tell them how I expected them to dress, and give them an opportunity and see what their needs are. They may not have it. We've given out detergent to staff, things. I mean, so the heart work is it for me.
And lastly, I'd like to just go back to what I originally said. Continue to extend the grace. Continue to be kind. We all come from different walks of life, from different family situations. And for the manager also to be clued in and to be able to read a person and not to take everything personally. So I would like to just,
Yeah, and guess what? The heart, you be saying the heart, but we really mean put God first.
Yes.
Because that's where the heart is.
Definitely,
I'm Jacqueline Fernando Moxie.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm
Jacqueline Fernando Moxie.
Smith.
Melissa DeVoe.
Justina Stubbs.
Candace Gomez.
and Carla Hamilton.
On Table of Change, we will see you here next week, same time, same place, at the table with a spread.
Awesome.
That was awesome.